see tonight.
Saw Ahmed Zatar heading toward his net. He's the only keeper that has seen action for EMU this year, and he'll get the start again for the Royals as our marathon day on debut day here on ESPN3 continues with the final of 3 matches on Schellenberger Field on this 19th of October. No call made by the near side official, so some confusion in the first 30 seconds. You got to imagine Lynchburg's game plan is to get on the board early and kind of establish their dominance.
Totally, and right now, looks like EMU, at least defensively, they're in a 4-5-1, and so it's going to –
cool.
That was a close one.
From this angle, it looked like it was going.
Yeah, it's why I paused. 4-5-1, so they're going to have to move the ball a lot if they're going to sit in.
And a corner in the first 60 seconds will be given to Lynchburg, their 66th corner kick of the year. Abibi Osman will send it away. Near the goal line, Zatar getting just enough. And the Royals clearing it out of harm's way, but not entirely.
That was bending in. Almost got a goal right off the corner. You got EMU now with 10 guys inside the box. Looks like we're going to get a long throw.
And Kearns will be the thrower for the Hornets. In lane 3 on the track, lets it go high. Looks like a corner kick with that type of rainbow trajectory.
That's what you're hoping for.
It's not as flashy as Nick Morgan's throws, but it gets the job done.
No, that's a fun one for sure.
On the run, the counterattack. Here's Carlos Flores Melgar. He gets taken down in the box. And no whistle blown, so we continue play. Melgar slow to get up behind the ball.
That was an excellent counter by EMU.
Still in a fortuitous position. Deckert and Gallagher misplayed it and able to get back on top of it. So dangerous. That ball could have stayed through his legs and been a wide open net for the Royals.
And obviously that starts with that counter, but Lynchburg played a square ball in the middle of the field, and that was an immediate giveaway. It's something you can almost never do.
Joey Daly ahead. In the middle now, Michael Lyons receives it from Ashby. Lyons dribbles ahead for Robles, and Zatar there first.
Good movement. It's a tough pass when you've got a straight run there on a straight ball.
Kenny Robles, 3 goals, 1 assist in his freshman campaign, getting his first start as a Hornet tonight. Usman dispossessed by Organic.
One way.
Lynchburg's very fluid already. You got guys moving in all kinds of different positions, which is pretty fun soccer.
We saw them on the 9th against Randolph-Macon. Everybody's takeaway from that 4-0 win was just how smooth they played together as that ball is played ahead for Osman. Zatar just getting it away. Usman in good position, but Organic was there to shove him off. Great ball for Robles. The freshman shooting left and missing that one wide.
It's just a little close to him. If you could get that touch probably 6 inches ahead, it's going in.
Just to revisit the comment about the Randolph-Macon takeaway, that's why this season has been so frustrating. You feel so high about a 4-0 win over a conference opponent. The team just looked so in sync, and the defense played extremely well. Then you have a 3-3 tie at Sydney, and then a 4-0 loss against Washington and Lee. That's the same Washington and Lee team that Lynchburg tied scoreless on the 25th of September. So you really can't get a gauge on where this team is right now. Every night it's something different.
No, and it makes it hard as a coach. It really does, because you just, what team's going to show up that night? And you hope it's the one that's against Macon, right?
Right.
They score a bunch of goals.
EMU hoping that's not the case tonight.
Yeah.
As they are looking to find some magic late in the season. I mentioned 0-4 in conference play. Losses to Guilford, Shenandoah, Randolph-Macon, and Ferrum. That is their last 4 contests. They have not won since they defeated Bridgewater at Bridgewater 2-1 on September 25th.
I thought they might get one in the first 5 there on that counter.
Three matches left for EMU and Lynchburg as the regular season winds down. Temperatures dropping, lips chapping, and tensions rising late in the year. Mega through the arms of Zatar, and the stellar freshman sends it through for goal number 1 tonight, and for him, his 5th of the season.
Yeah, awesome ball movement by Lynchburg. It's all those guys being so fluid on the attack. It's almost like your 3 forwards and your 2 attack mids. They've just been given the license to move around as much as they want. And being able to move the ball that way, goal's going to come.
One more look at it. Mega just driving in after a great push, as you mentioned, through the midfield. And it was nice to see Michael Lyons even pointed back in the midfield saying, hey, that's your ball. They put Mega in a good spot. Just 2 shots for Lynchburg, but they made the second one count. First one was pretty good too. Ashby wearing the captain's band, gliding through the middle of the field. Outside for Lyons. First-year transfer, Michael Lyons to a good spot. Low ball, almost an own goal off the foot of Organic. And it will be another corner for the Hornets.
Yeah, the worst thing in the world you can have happen is, as an outside guy is driving that inline, all your defenders facing the goal turns into your attackers turn to ×2, as you almost saw just then.
Usman ready, left-footed at the 6, punched away by Zatar. Now it's low. Another chance, and they'll say another corner for the Hornets, their 3rd here in the first 10 minutes. Taking a look at Troy Davis, junior out of Gainesville. Our player to watch today for EMU, 5 goals this season, leading his team in points with 10. That one curving in toward the goal line. Zatar punched it out. Lands harmlessly in the box. 1-on-1. Pressure comes from Robles. And Oaks able to clear it back to center field.
EMU was struggling to clear that ball. Finally got it out.
Still find it so fascinating how similar these teams are on paper, and it's really just because of the recent history for Lynchburg men's soccer. You're not used to seeing more ties than wins or losses. That's incredible just in soccer generally, as Ashby plays it on the outside, intended for Mega, but EMU will clear it out. 1-1-2 in the conference. And a team that offensively is just mustering up 1.7 goals per game and only 12 shots per game.
Yeah, and if you're EMU, you know, you're looking at that like, hey, let's try to capitalize.
Well, and to that point, EMU 11 shots per game, 1.5 goals per game. They're right there,
right,
on paper. But again, if it's the Randolph-Macon team of Hornets that shows up tonight, it could be a long one for the Royals.
And first 10 minutes could be that way.
Mega lays it back here for Ashby. Ashby through for Robles, who just replaces his spot. No pressure, so has plenty of time to turn. Ashby facing some stiff pressure that came from Nick Tucker. Usman crossing in. Oakes heads it out. 10 minutes gone by. And 3 shots for Lynchburg. One that got past the tar from Luke Mega. Ashby to his left foot. Sends it low and an easy slow roller to scoop up for the keeper out of Barbersville, Virginia.
You're EMU, you're hoping you can get some relief here. Big punt.
Good one, too. But the first ball was played by Kearns, who sends it right back into Lynchburg's third. Trejo for Davis, and stolen away. Good work by Foley and Averett, who gets the one touch from Mega. Mega slides through one, now two. Mega shoots it low, stopped briefly, and then officially cleared away by Zach Newton with 34 minutes to go.
Ball just stuck to his foot, beating that many guys and getting a shot off.
Dr. Roger Mast in his 28th season, 2-time ODAC Coach of the Year back in the late 90s, still at the helm of EMU. As Kearns wishes this one will stay in, and it does. Did one of those numbers where he turned his body as if that was going to keep the ball from going out. Right idea for Davis.
Yeah, and, you know, EMU hasn't had much possession. And if they are just able to string a few passes here now, but turning right into pressure.
Robles, not sure where to go. Looking like a baby fawn.
A lot of players are in his area.
Good ball for Usman. First there, though, was Organic, who's getting a lot of playing time defensively. And then Ashby, good on the gridiron, but up and out on the pitch. As you see Coach Yeager standing high atop the bench, he loves the camera in his face, you can tell. 18th season here at Lynchburg, crossing the 200 win plateau earlier this season. Second all-time, of course, to the late, great Bill Schellenberger, in which this field is named after. He's got a ways to go to reach old Bill over 400 wins.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. Coach Olson has over 400 wins.
That's also a lot.
I remember a few years ago talking to Coach Hillary Scott, our men's basketball coach, and his response to how do you feel about 100 wins, he said, if you stay here long enough, you'll get them.
That's true.
So
true.
There's something in longevity that helps with those numbers too. Mega on a dead sprint gets ahead of Corzo, and then Corzo gets some help from Shelton on the backside.
Gonna see another long throw. These guys get in the box like a corner.
It'll be Kearns again.
It's the first time in a while that there's been possession outside of the EMU defensive third.
Very similar to the field hockey match we had earlier today against EMU. It was 1-0 at halftime, but clear winners of the half was Lynchburg, and that's the case here in terms of possession. Low ball, just looking for a deflection. Got it, but it came back to Joey Daly.
Yeah, so many legs in there. Got to hit it in a channel.
Is that a conscious effort? Are you just seeing what happens, trying to play Plinko and just kick it in there and see what takes shape?
You can. Hopefully you have like a channel open up and you aim right into that space, which happens at times. But there's certainly some strategy to hopefully get a deflection on a keeper, because they go one way towards the save, hits off of a leg, and it's in the goal. There's nothing you can do about it.
7 shots for Lynchburg, 1 goal coming from Luke Mega. Really, EMU hasn't played bad at all. They've even had a couple chances. Got to communicate there. Phillips and Gallagher on that ball.
Can we be active there? One or the other.
Two other matches in action in the ODAC tonight. Still scoreless in the first half between the Marlins and the Generals. And it's a 2-1 lead for Hampton-Sydney at halftime over Ferrum College. A couple finals from earlier today. Randolph-Macon, a large win over E&H, 6-0. 5 goals in the second half for the Yellow Jackets. 1-0 win for Guilford over Shenandoah. And in Bridgewater, a 4-1 victory over Roanoke, which is an upset for sure, as Mega looks for goal number 2 off the noggin. Recognizes the good ball from Lyons, but Zatar able to hold on.
That could have been a fun one. Got a couple big crosses, big switches.
Whistle will keep it with EMU. And a free kick here. Kyle Shelton, the freshman, will boot it away. Good header inside the box.
A little bit of trouble.
Loose near the far side, and Nick Foley first to get there and using a little bit more inches that he has in the height range to get a piece of it.
Poked it out. Did a good job of maintaining possession too. So just clearing it.
Speaking of the inches, listed on the roster sheet as Gallagher keeps that one in front. Foley at 6'2", and Jesus Trejo, who was also on that ball, 6'1". So literally that 1 inch helping out Foley in that possession sequence.
Yeah, and Troy Davis with a rip there on frame from probably 30 yards out. Was not expecting that, and thankfully for Lynchburg, Kyle is ready.
He is the team leader in goals this season for the Royals. Now on the counterattack, Luke Mega, fancy footwork, leaves Usman open, and Zatar holds on his backside to keep it 1-0.
Yeah, and that's a good save and some unselfish play by Mega. Popping it out to BB.
Mega and Usman, your top 2 goal scorers for the Hornets coming into today, each with 4. Mega now with 5, of course. Robles gliding along the far sideline, stops and lets that one go off the foot of Oakes for a throw.
Possible long throw territory, but like just a normal.
Usman is down behind the play, folks, and he is in some serious pain. We're going to have to stop play, I would think, if he doesn't get up soon. Normally he doesn't stay down that long. That's why I said serious.
It did look that way, and I thought he made a noise too. So
yeah, that's what I heard that as well.
Yeah, so Just didn't sound good at all.
He's trying to tough it out, but you at least have to look at your bench if you're Coach Yeager. You can hear Coach Yeager, let us know. You got to ask the player. You can't make an assumption based on what you thought it looked like.
Right.
At least for right now, before they start sprinting again, Usman is comfortable enough to stay in.
Yeah, and great sportsmanship by EMU. You know, Lynchburg kicked it out of bounds for the injury, and they just gave it right back.
Getting tripped up was Newton, and that is going to come back the way of the Royals. Things have died down a bit to this juncture of the game. Luke Mega scoring in the first 7 minutes. Everyone having a good time at that point, and now it's just kind of back and forth, a couple chances for Lynchburg. EMU even with a shot or two.
Yeah, and some of it is, you know, Lynchburg first 10 minutes had all the possession. Got a little bit even, but there's also been a lot of restarts, whether it's throw-ins or free kicks.
Right idea by Robles. Back for Usman at the 18. This is Lions, and his will go high. More good chances from the Hornets as they continue to dominate in their offensive third.
Yeah, and he didn't quite get it with his laces. His foot was opened up, and he was sitting with the inside of his foot with his toe was still angled out, so you saw that come out sliced.
Michael Lyons having a chat with the officials. He's known for that. He likes to have conversations. Of course, he's not your typical college student. He's closer to my age than he is to players on the field.
Got some age on him.
Hey, if I had a year of eligibility left, I'd play too. He's got a fresh cut tonight as well. You know, I'm a fan of the high and tight, so looking good.
And sharp.
Hornets with 10 shots here in the first half. Just one for the Royals. 3 saves for Zatar. 1 given to Gallagher. And a 1-0 lead thanks to Luke Mega.
Comes a long throw.
And Kearns is going to go back to lane 5, so getting a little bit more run room. Line driver this time instead of the high arcing throw. Good pressure from Robles, but it will turn into a goal kick.
Yeah, and you're hoping for a little bit more fight when you get that opportunity to battle, and you know you may not fully win it, but at least cause some sort of chaos.
Substitution for EMU is Ethan McGee, 6-foot freshman out of Williamsburg, Virginia. And he gives Jamie Corzo a break. Good job getting the second ball by Deckert. Trejo leaves it here. That was Davis making the run, and the whistle will keep it in a pretty good free kick position for EMU.
Not sure what the foul was for other than maybe he's grabbing him, but he had Troy Davis, again, free in the middle, almost getting on the end of that.
You can see Captain Jesus Trejo, the senior from Winchester, Virginia, not far from my neck of the woods. Went to John Hanley High School.
Interesting setup here. I wonder if this is going to be a low-driven shot, trying to clear the way for maybe.
The Vuvuzela makes an appearance as Davis chips it in on the run and off the side of the netting. It actually turned out to be a pretty good opportunity.
It was. That was interesting and almost getting the goal.
Connect with us on social media today, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Lynchburg Sports. Some volleyball and women's basketball players in attendance tonight checking out the action. Volleyball back in action on the court tomorrow. Doubleheader at Emory and Henry against Shenandoah and the hosts, Wasps of E&H.
That ball sort of worked out for EMU. Lynchburg won possession further back, but again, from your back, square ball into the middle of the field. That could have been really bad news for them.
My favorite part, of course, is how it turned out based on how it looked to start with.
Yeah.
And what is going to happen here?
Right.
Coach Mast has been around for a time or two, so he's got some tricks up his sleeves. Good push here by the Royals. Trejo plays it ahead. Deckert couldn't get clean possession of it. Chipped in by Melgar and headed by Davis, but no one around to help. Lions. And that pass just a bit too far. Lions slides in. Good tackle.
It was great effort. You know, he's mad that he played it a little bit too tight and went to win it back.
Melgar came up a bit gimpy after that sliding attempt, but he's still out there. I don't know what it is about Luke Mega, but when he dribbles, it just looks so effortless.
Silky smooth. Not what they said when I dribbled.
You brought that up. I didn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say. I didn't see you play. I just assumed you were amazing. So
I'll let you assume that. Great spot by Kenny in the middle of the field.
under 20 minutes to go in the first half of play. Good ball for a BB. And a slow roller, blue shirts around, and then off the body of Lions.
Yeah, that was some good movement to break free there. He only had one guy in the box, but if he was able to see him, he was coming across the 12 for an easy one.
Good work by Kearns.
Something that is being cooked smells incredible.
I was trying not to say anything about it.
I don't know if, you know, good commentary or not, but
hey, we have to bring people to the field if they're not here. That's our job.
Listen, I'll do that segment where the guy goes and tries all the food.
Yeah.
I'm in on that.
Okay.
So if that's a thing,
hometown
eats or whatever it's called.
It can be a thing. We can make that happen. I know the guy in charge. Mega creates space for himself, and then it's off the body of Newton, but again, excellent skills with the feet by Luke Mega.
Yeah, he's just dangerous anytime he has the ball. I mean, you get him in the final third, teams better look out.
Usman going to take this corner again. The left foot sporting the pink hair for Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Got all zoned by EMU.
Curling in. Gets away from Zatar. Out to the 18. Here's Lions. And once again, just too tall.
Just caught the outside of his foot a little bit.
Sometimes you can have too much time.
Yes. You think about it too much. And then it's skies.
Substitution for Lynchburg. And stepping out is Kenny Robles. Stepping in is Michael Zhang, the junior out of Leesburg, Virginia. There he is. Or there he was.
Walking behind us is a historic coach out of Blacksburg, Shelley Blumenthal. Many state championships.
A couple of his former athletes here today as Lynchburg able to take away that pressure. It's Carter Averett, who Coach Eggers really enjoyed watching him grow this year in his freshman season. That's why he's been getting the starts that he has lately. 3 starts, now 4 starts, thanks to today's numbers. And if there is a bright spot with getting new guys in, it is watching them grow throughout the year. And I'm sure it's got to be especially nice when you talk to them in practice to make changes and you actually see them executed on the field during game day.
Yeah, and it's hard as a freshman to come in and get minutes and especially start. I mean, the speed of play is so much faster. The physicality may be even harder. And so sometimes it takes you a little bit of time to settle in, and, you know, it's pretty cool to see that happen for him.
This is one guy who did not take long to settle in. Mega crosses the goal mouth, and Ashby just a bit late to get to it.
A lot of guys there. You're just hoping somebody dives, gets on it.
Ashby lays it back. Zhang sends it in. Zatar sure-handed.
Go ahead, Bailey, go ahead. Put him under. Tighter now. Good. Well done, Bailey. Well done, Bailey. Well done.
Bailey Kearns with the first ball. Kearns with the most experience this backline group. Stepping in this year, has played since he was a freshman. Sometimes hard to even keep track of what year he is on the team because we've seen him so much. He is a junior.
Another year.
Haven't seen him play up much this year. In the past, with the likes of Hughes and Van Giesen, McLaurin and Net, you'd see Pecunis and Kearns play up on the offensive end a few times.
Right.
And that's why Kearns has had some very memorable goals for Lynchburg's program's history. But this year, keeping him back and letting his experience play for itself. Oh, we found the Vuvuzela. We've been looking for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and one of the things in this formation, you know, with a 4-3-3, you're hoping your outside backs can get forward into that wide space, especially if you have a wide forward pinch in a bit.
Oh, dangerous deflection. Headers! The Tar on it, but so close to Nick Morgan finding the back of the net in the first 10 seconds that he stepped in.
Might see a foot throw then tonight.
That's right.
Got 2 guys now on each side that can throw long.
Morgan
Nice.
missing a few games because of injury to his shooting foot. Good to be healthy at this time of the year. If you're Coach Yeager and his staff, all options are on the table.
Tell you what, Luke Mega's just having his way out wide.
Daly. Mega gets a piece and sends it wide. There is Mega. I also want to bring up how you didn't even react to the Vuvuzela. You're so professional.
I didn't know what was going on.
I didn't give you any warning, but
I'm still thinking about the food segment.
If people have been watching over the last couple of weeks, we've made mention a few times. We can hear it. We can't see it. Cameras are scanning over on the far side. We've never been able to find it. I've talked to a few people, and sometimes they're in a dorm room, and they're just blowing out the window. And tonight, showing their face on the sidelines. So it was like a treasure hunt for us, and X finally marked the spot that we were looking for. Back on the pitch, it's Averett. Good ball, and headed again by Morgan. That's impressive. Averett looking the other way and knew that Morgan or someone was in the middle chipping it back.
Yeah, and they were yelling for him to settle because he had a little bit of time to maybe chest it and then hit a good, solid volley rather than kind of a slow header. It's a scary ball. It's good recovery there. Yep, I was still thinking about the food segment. I was watching the field.
Well, you were doing your job. I really wasn't. I should have.
Yeah, and as you know, the second Bush president, I was looking at the strategery that was going on.
Yes, that's
on
the most
field.
important part.
Yeah,
bigly important.
Bigly. A lot of huge things going on.
10:59 to go in the first half of play. 1-0 thanks to Luke Mega. Your sideshow tonight provided by Coach Matt Newton and Joe Hutzler.
I'm working on the dad jokes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you've got to practice.
Yep.
How many more months are we at?
We're January.
Wow.
You know, but it's like 3rd or something, so we're hoping for like end of December.
Okay.
For the tax benefits. And,
yeah.
Using up all our deductible already, so.
So you're not looking for a New Year's baby?
We're hoping, no. Although supposedly my wife said if they're born on New Year's, you get like a year of diapers for free. So
Ooh.
There's a lot of like gambling happening.
Yeah.
So it's like one or the other. You know, roll the dice.
Well, I hope you don't come up snake eyes.
Yeah. We're just sending messages. All right, pick New Year's or before New Year's. That's it. That's all you get.
That's all you get.
We're already starting the discipline.
Yeah. 14 shots for Lynchburg, absolutely dominating possession and opportunities, but you get a sense the Royals can get one good attack. This game could be tied.
Because they definitely have a few guys, EMU, to watch out for. And they keep getting these little fouls that are dangerous. You know, and they're pretty good with these set pieces. They've been dangerous each time.
The senior out of Waynesboro, Virginia.
Might see
Caleb
a little
Oaks.
in-swinger here, a little shot.
It'll be Davis setting up for it. Got to look for Karuki, the junior from Nairobi, Kenya. Listed at 6'5". He swings around the back, and Davis goes for him. Here's Karuki, but Phillips jumping up and intercepting that with his noggin.
And I tell you what, if he's not there, that's a goal, most likely, unless he just misheads it, because that was perfectly placed right to that target player that they would have wanted. And now they get another little chance with the corner. There's no moments to sleep. We learned that.
Flores Melgar, a senior from Woodbridge, Virginia, sends in the corner. Too tall for everyone. But the Royals keep it in play. Fake the kick there. Send it off the backside of Mega. And then a nice slide from Kearns. Mega just getting it away from Shelton, and now the speed of the freshman takes control.
He just quick feet. I mean, I didn't think he'd get out of that tackle, a little poke, and he's gone.
Davis, pressure from Mega. Ashby can't get on Davis either. And now the whistle helps out. What did you see?
Nothing. So
me neither.
I'm not really sure. Maybe a grab. He's been calling some grabs, so it could have been hidden from us.
Assistant coach Nate Burning asking the near side AR the same question. What is he calling? We're all wondering. 7:35 to go, and this one headed back and wide off of the Hornets. So it'll be a corner set piece for the Royals. 7:20 to go. And again, we mentioned it's 1-0, and Lynchburg's dominated most of the possession, but EMU's dangerous right here.
Well, it's just all these free kicks that they're getting. You know, they've been dangerous on all of them, and they've converted them into corners twice.
Flores Melgar again. High arcing corner, looking again for Karuki. But Lynchburg's defense getting just enough done. Karuki,
yeah, and if you're
dead leg fell down.
Yeah, and if you're EMU, you play that ball back to keep possession. Let's not clear it again forward and lose it again, and now you're defending again against numbers going at you.
Good run by the Hornets. Morgan at the elbow. Man goes down. Nick Morgan shooting. Zatar with the stop, and it will stay on this side of the end line, but what a highlight moment for Nick Morgan. I think that right foot's okay.
Yeah, that was a rip, and that's a great save for EMU. And it keeps them in the game because you ideally don't go in halftime giving up another one.
Off ahead of Karuki and settled down by Daly. Gallagher connects with Ashby. Mega flying through. Slams on the brakes, and good defense played by Shelton. Great slide tackle, beautifully done by Ashby as Morgan lets it rip, and Zatar makes the stop.
A little ambitious there, and he still had a few runners. He might try to get a little closer to the box before letting one off.
Foley playing up at midfield. Now he'll go back.
Again, EMU playing a little bit of a low block, or a mid block, I'd say.
Lynchburg wanted a call. Instead, they'll just keep the ball.
Yeah, giving him advantage, although not a ton of advantage.
And this is a goal kick. 4:21 remaining. 16-2 lead for Lynchburg in shots. And that 1-0 lead on the scoreboard. 2 substitutions being made by Coach Yeager and his staff. Cody Sevilla and Ayat Mohammed will check in as Luke Mega and Jack Ashby will get a breather for what we believe is the next 4 minutes. Sevilla for Morgan. Nick Morgan bouncing off the arm of Zatar and wide for a corner. Just as the first half began, it's ending with Lynchburg pouncing all over the Royals.
And Nick Morgan coming in really providing a pretty good spark. You know, we had a little bit of a lull there in action like we talked about, but since he's been in the game, it's been pretty attack-minded.
And on the corner, chance for Sevilla! And it's not going to make it to the goal line. Took an awkward bounce at the 6.
Yeah,
and a goal kick.
I thought that was going to bounce in. It was an interesting spin it must have had on it to come off like that. I thought it was going to bounce right over the goalie.
Juan Vasquez, senior from Waynesboro, checking in with 2:44 to go.
Again, another free kick for EMU. Going to put it in the box.
And contact made by the Royals. That'll be a whistle giving it back to Lynchburg.
And again, too many hands. Like they're really keying in on a lot of that. Definitely a push there. Wasn't quite sure if he was going to call it, but they did. Now Lynchburg just keeping it, try to waste a little bit of time, get into halftime.
Under 90 seconds to play. Stick around at halftime. We'll step aside and come back with the Luke Mega goal. Talk about his stellar performance tonight and what adjustments can and should be made for each of these teams to come away with a victory in a much important conference match. We'll also take a look at the ODAC schedule, update you again on results and score updates. 2 other games in action as we speak. And then, of course, the second half will begin shortly thereafter. 45 seconds remaining. Kern steps in, goes low, looking for that deflection, and it's bounced away from Muhammad. Davis has room. being hounded by Morgan.
Nowhere to go. Got to go back.
Zatar. Good header. Second ball, though, for Phillips.
Great job by Nick Morgan using his body. Shield that inside.
10 seconds remaining in the half. One final shot, that's wide. Just the third of the half for EMU, who trails Lynchburg by a score of 1-0. We'll step aside for a few minutes.
It's awesome to see.
Great work by the crew today. Cameras, replay, graphics. 45 minutes at least left. It's just a 1-0 game, so still plenty of time for EMU to tie this one up. Lynchburg trying to get back in the win column after a loss and a tie in their last two matches. Home has been pretty good for Lynchburg, 4-2-1 here on Schellenberger Field, but 0-2-4 away. And as the standings are, Lynchburg's going to have to be on the road in the ODAC tournament as Davis gets tripped up, and we'll have a free kick from the Royals just outside the 18.
And again, something you're hoping to eliminate coming into the second period.
Speaking right to your point, and here we are in the first minute, we've got a free kick.
Pretty dangerous guy behind the ball, too.
Davis and Trejo around it now. Again, Davis, the team leader in goals. He's tied with Melgar for points at 10. Trejo has 2 goals and 2 assists for 6 points.
Lynchburg's got almost everybody in the box.
Davis, hard shot off the post. Another header towards the corner, off the bar again. 2 awesome chances for the Royals, and the 12th object, man, if you will, in this point in time, Gallagher's best friend makes 2 saves to keep it 1-0.
Yeah, first, unbelievable strike by Davis, and then to have that header go off almost the same type of spot on the other side. Pretty fortunate there, and sometimes you just need a little bit of lady luck.
She is on Lynchburg's side right now. Can't wait to check that one out again. Just a beautiful, hard, like you said, hard shot. Would have been hard for anybody to stop it.
Yeah, even the best keepers in the world may not save that one.
Off the bar and then a header off the corner post.
That was going upper bins.
So the Royals, they may not have as many chances, but they certainly feel confident after a play like that.
They've been dangerous with what they've had, which is good for them.
5 straight losses coming into today, trying to avoid number 6. Mega. Phillips. Long ball over the head of Robles. Each team with the original first half starters on the pitch to start the second half.
That's sort of tough. You know, you're hoping to keep possession. 2, you do.
And just real quick, looking back at Davis's shot off the bar, and then the header was Ethan McGee, who is the only change in the starting lineup for the second half of either team, and he was that close to putting a goal on his stat sheet, and it would be his first of the year.
Yeah, and you can hear EMU's coach yelling for them to turn their hips into the box, and that's what you're wanting when people are driving into the box and they're getting that cross off. You want your defenders facing away from the goal, not towards the goal, like you saw in the first half where they almost had their own goal.
Mm-hmm. gets the student section on fire as Mega flies along that far side, then tripped up. Foul against Shelton. Mega still down.
Yeah, and he took off. Shot out of a cannon for that. It was good to draw the foul.
Here's a look at that speed that you talked about. Look at that track star in the making. And then there's the foul coming from Shelton.
Coach Sprecher might be looking at that.
Can always use more on the track team. Robles through the uprights and out of play.
Good play. '22 does a good job keeping the ball in, or keeping possession, and then went in the corner when he couldn't quite get to it. It's one thing EMU didn't have a ton of in the first half, which was possession. Seeing a little bit of change already in this half.
It was Zatar off his teammates some friendly fire, leading to a chance for the Hornets. Lions not taking the shot. His teammates on the bench visibly disgruntled as that one goes off a defender, wide open cage. Ashby somehow rolled his foot over the ball. So, unlike the captain to whiff on a chance like that, and Lady Luck has switched teams.
It has, and one, that clearance that gets blocked, and then it goes right to Abibi's feet. Someone that you just never want that to happen. It had free reign. He's unselfish, plays it into Mike Lyons, but EMU does a good job of getting numbers behind the ball, and that's why Lyons couldn't get the shot off. He had three guys in front of him. So a good recovery on their part.
Kearns takes the contact and the ball with him. Just bullying Oaks in that situation. Dangerous ball. Averett handles the pressure. You mentioned the lack of possession for the Royals, which led to lack of shots in the first half. Just two. They've already picked up two in the first 10 minutes of the second stanza.
Well, and in non-soccery terms, they've just got a little bit more fight in them, it seems like, than before. I mean, there were times on the field where I thought, you know, hey, a little bit more effort and you might could do something with the ball. Coming out and pressuring.
Ball picked up by Mega. Driving. Good ball between the leg of the defender. Lions on the end line. Pressure comes from out of Midlothian, Virginia, here on homecoming. Scoring a goal that he won't forget for a long time. And giving Lynchburg some insurance that they needed.
Yeah, and really nice to get an early goal. About 9 minutes in or so.
So take us through the mentality of a Royals player now. You're you're winless in conference. You've lost your last 5 matches. You're facing a Lynchburg team that on paper is just as even as you are, and you got a really good chance through the first 10 minutes of the second half, but you give up a goal and now you're down 2-0.
Well, right now you got this free kick, which they've been dangerous on.
Gallagher, nice hands to hold on.
And he just takes care of that pretty easily. Coming up with a limp. But you're still not out of it with 36 left in the game, and all of your games have been close, the ones that you've lost. And so you're just hoping that you try to capitalize on what you've been getting.
What's the tough part from the coach's perspective when you're not able to call timeout and talk to the whole team? What do you do earlier in the year to set up your team to be able to control themselves and coach themselves in these positions on the field?
Yeah, I mean, you have to practice under pressure and at game speed. And sometimes you see teams that don't do that enough, and then you get into a situation where you don't know what to do when there's a ton of pressure on you. In their scenario where they're trying to get a goal, you know, eventually here you're going to see some formation changes. You're going to see, you know, taking defenders off, getting more attackers forward. You're going to see potentially more long balls. Really just trying to get that win. Maybe you're even trying to get the tie. Maybe you're saying, hey, maybe we can pull this tie out and get a point in the conference.
Dangerous ball played. Usman was ready to pounce. Zatar got there first, and down goes another Royal. Coach Yeager not happy with his captain, thinking there might have been a card there. But back a few minutes ago, you saw this does not help EMU in their comeback attempt. Troy Davis coming off the field, and Coach Mast forced to make a substitution on the fly. They brought in Jonas Beachy, a sophomore from Grant Pass, Oregon. But Davis on the bench favoring his shin area. See if he can come back in a little bit later as we take a chance to remind you to connect with us on social media at Lynchburg Sports, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Those ladies are on there all the time and getting ready for their doubleheader tomorrow. Lynchburg volleyball at Emory and Henry for 2 back-to-back. First against Shenandoah at 1 o'clock, and then taking on the host school, E&H, at 3 p.m.
Another important kind of sub for EMU. Their center back's off now. And you're already seeing issues for him there.
And Mega cannot keep it in play. It's a goal kick. The head ref makes the call. The AR did not have a look at it.
On the other side of the field, hard to see, and really could have gone either way.
So Newton is out, referring to that center back.
Not me.
Not you, yes.
Yeah.
You're in. You're
I'm
all
still
in.
here.
You're all in. You got your belly full with some Jersey Mikes. You're ready to go.
I know, you missed the food segment of the
I'll check it out later on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Right? So you get your endorsement.
when we start that.
Right. Because you need more information on women's soccer's Instagram.
Yeah.
Coach Newton with food in his beard.
Exactly. Yeah, whoever was tailgating has stopped cooking, so we're not sitting here starving.
That is very helpful.
Smelled amazing.
Another successful homecoming. Thanks to alumni relations here at University of Lynchburg for setting all that up. No spots open in the parking lot behind us. And they've seen some great action today. Splitting the defense here is organic and just ran into too many red shirts.
Yeah, he got a little ambitious. Beat the first couple guys. Hope to combine after that. Ultimately, you're going to get dispossessed.
Just a quick recap of the day here at home. Field hockey with a 3-0 win over Eastern Mennonite for their 7th straight victory now, and still unbeaten in conference play as that one's chipped in, and Phillips plays it ahead around McGee. Lynchburg women's soccer falling to Roanoke 2-1 in a great back-and-forth affair that was pretty slow going at first, and then a barrage of shots and goals in the second half as things opened up a bit. And now a 2-0 lead for men's soccer over EMU. Each team trying to get in the win column today. Lynchburg looking to rebound after a very disappointing 4-0 defeat at the hands of the third-ranked team in the country, Washington and Lee, who at last check was still scoreless with Virginia Wesleyan. That is a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, that's a tough ODAC battle there. Be interesting to see where they're at now. Possibly overtime or
second half. in Virginia Beach, which is always a tough trip for anybody on this side of the state
100%.
to make over there.
100%.
Getting off with dead legs. And we take a look at ODAConline.com scoreboard. It's 1-0 Virginia Wesleyan, 27 minutes to go. The Marlins looking for not just an upset of the #1 team in the ODAC, but a top 5 upset in the country.
That'd be a big win.
There's John Mackey and Austin Cuse taking in the action today. Mackey, the older brother of Ben Mackey, who was not playing. That ball off the side.
And with a little bit of cushion at 2, Lynchburg can afford to just keep it. And you're seeing that a little bit even in the back. They don't have to go forward. You know, at times they can just knock it around. Continue to take time off the clock. Any reset is good. Even this is good because it takes time.
Robles close to a handball there. Kearns puts a charge into that. Mega again.
He just takes off.
You can't help but be amazed by the way it looks. It's a quick start, and he just keeps that pace. No slowdown with the freshman. Kyle Gallagher, after some injuries that hampered him in the early part of his career here, getting the start from day one in this season as Usman converts on a beautiful ball from Michael Lyons. He's been doing it all night. Usman and Mega got to work on the celebration, but that's all right when it's after a goal. Abibi Usman with his 5th of the year, and that putting some more icing on this layered cake tonight. One more look at it. Michael Lyons with a beauty on the assist.
Yeah, he just makes a great run outside, keeps possession, drives in line, and then they just kind of lose track of Abibi. Again, all those defenders facing goal, which is not what you want.
Stay in front, Dallas. Yes, Dallas.
That may be just enough. Put the nail in the
Yeah,
coffin.
it definitely feels like, of course, you don't want to say anything too early. 29 plus minutes remaining, and that's why I avoided that. But if you've watched this entire match, this feels more like the score should be based on the way Lynchburg has played and dominated possession. Troy Davis is back in for the Royals. Michael Zhang is in again for the Hornets.
Pretty much an immediate impact when he's in the game. You know, that created a little lull for EMU. Already in the final third, possibly getting a corner. And he does.
Incredible. Incredible. He provides that spark. And I know it's not something we want to revisit that much, but to your all's game this afternoon, similar to Rudy when she comes in, there's an immediate spark with the way that she plays, just like Davis was there. Something changes when those players are on the field.
Yeah, you just got to love those players for what they bring. You know, a great player elevates their team, and that's what you want.
Gallagher. Looks like he's got stickum on those gloves. No bounce.
And I felt like EMU had a few guys free, you know, and so if he doesn't get a hand on that, could be a goal.
Just one save tonight for Gallagher, but we will say that he's been where he needs to be for the majority of the night. Only one, again, credited save as he'll hold on to that one. But those corners, those are vitally important not to give up a rebound.
Yeah, and he, you know, it's a lot of traffic there to put your body on the line and get in the mix on, and he's just done a great job on all of those to take care of things.
Daly was not able to keep it in play. Hard to see there, of course, because of the donkey, as they call it.
I call it the mule for some reason.
The mule, yeah.
I haven't brought it up this time. Last time I brought it up way too many times.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say anything, but it was a lot.
But it kind of became a game to bring it up.
It did. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it absolutely became one of those games.
I forgot about it, so now I might bring it up again.
Well, the way things are trending, it might be what we have to talk about.
Yeah, just total.
Robles with the shot and just a bit wide.
Pretty much total dominance right now on the Lynchburg side this half.
It does give you a chance from our spot up here above the field to just take in how pretty it is here at night and what they've done with the new residence hall and how modern it looks. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a favor of McQuain being there and kind of providing this overwhelming, looming building on top of the action, but there's just something about it that speaks to the future. And tonight it's a beautiful, calm evening, not too cold, not windy. Can't ask for much more.
Yeah, and the inside of that dorm is unbelievable. I don't know if you've been in.
I have not been in there yet.
Been in a few times, just maybe when it wasn't completed. Can't confirm or deny that. And it's awesome.
Well, and something else that I like to see is actual seating for a balcony. We've seen in the past people in McQuain just leaning out their windows trying to watch games. And, of course, you got old photos from the 60s and 70s of men's soccer here on grass then on the field when Schellenberger was along the sidelines coaching, and people were on top of the small balcony at McQuain, and it was packed for those old matches against the likes of JMU here in the early days of the program. And tonight, still a great atmosphere and energy stemming from action earlier in the day. And last night as well, Midnight Madness was a success. Hall of Fame inductions for 6 former athletes, another success, and some excess regarding the wine at the dinner. Not from me, it's what I heard. I was not able to be there, but it's free-flowing on Friday nights at the Hall of Fame dinner.
A lot of things happening here on campus. It's just a really, really fun time, really great atmosphere. Sidelines full over there. Like you said, people on the balconies, really cool to see. I'd even watch from up there if I could.
For sure. We may be able to put a camera up there at some point. Just a little teaser. Speaking of that new residence hall, there will be a dedication, official dedication, next Friday, October 25th. No word on if there's going to be a name at the dedication. It's still just called the residence hall.
I'm assuming.
It seems like the right time
to
do that, especially with the majority of campus planning to be there.
Again, Luke Mega just getting out of double team. So creative with the ball.
And a rare time where he can't get out of it. And McGee,
look out.
Ahead for Trejo, and his pass just off the mark.
And I tell players all the time, so like he didn't win that ball, right? But he provided pressure. And so we tell players all the time, provide pressure, force the error, which is exactly what happened. And that's a win if you're Luke Mega. Looks like we're going to get quite a few subs to come in, and Lynchburg got a goalkeeper warming up.
Lynchburg waiting to make a host of substitutions.
Again, another free kick for EMU. Been pretty dangerous. Pushing a lot of guys forward.
It's got to be frustrating for Coach Mast and the Royals players because you can see it. I mean,
it's close.
It's so close. And here's another chance. Gallagher had it deflected by a teammate. It was Zhang who touched it. But EMU, they say they touched it last. So it's a goal kick. And I want to go back and look at a turning point in this game. Had to be the free kick with the 2 balls off the crossbar and then off the post. It was still 1-0 at that time. Could have tied it up at 1 apiece. And then they turned it. Lynchburg turned it into a 2-0 lead.
They did, and if they score that free kick, EMU, that changes the whole atmosphere, whole momentum for the game. But once Lynchburg puts that second one away, it puts just a ton of pressure, and you haven't seen a whole lot of consistency in possession and creativity with EMU since that. It's been a lot of desperation.
So Lynchburg able to make their substitutions. Michael Rendon steps in. Bert Dunham is in there. He's got the ball now. Nick Morgan also came back into the contest.
Got an offsides.
Offside, so that'll come back. And Michael Thompson is in as well on the back line for Lynchburg, giving Griffin Phillips a break. First time we've had a chance to talk about Michael Thompson in a while. Thompson provides a large presence on the field. The senior standing at 6'1", 180, broad shoulders. And now he's playing defense on a long shot that had great speed behind it from Trejo. If it was on target, I'm not sure Gallagher could do anything with it.
I thought it was going in. And so, leaving a guy like that with time and space, you just cannot do defensively. He's wide open, turns at ease, and then just rips one. And again, you've got about 20 minutes left, so put one in the back of the net. Could make things interesting.
Goalkeeping change for Lynchburg as you see the last chance there by the Royals. Kyle Gallagher has stepped off the field with 19:42 to go, and Angel Sanchez Palomino, the freshman from Ashburn, is in between the pipes now. So if we finish as we stand now, 3-0, Gallagher will yet again miss out on a shutout. Got to play the whole game. He does have 3 to his credit this season. Morgan, nice moves, shifts his way to the near side of the box. Daly with his left foot across her. Zatar gets interfered with by Mohammed, but all things good, we continue play.
Yeah, it just seems like EMU's given Lynchburg a lot of space. And you just, a team like this, you just can't do that to. Even if you're worried about getting turned on, anything like that, just like I talked about earlier, that pressure on the ball, you're hoping to force mistakes, even if you're right on their back.
It just seems to some people, if you haven't watched this Lynchburg team, you're probably thinking, wow, they look really good. I mean, there's obviously some of that is EMU for sure, but this is how the team can look. There's a large amount of talent on this roster. You just haven't been able to string it together back-to-back games.
Yeah, and, they clearly have tons of talent and tons of ability. And you just, it's a team that, does their record look interesting right now? Sure.
Yeah.
But when you go into the ODACs, you better not just be like, hey, they have struggles, because sometimes teams, and it looks like hopefully now you start to gel, and maybe you gel late. You get into the ODAC, you start winning when it matters and win the ODAC.
Right.
You're in the tournament. And you've made a whole lot of other teams look silly because they took you for granted.
We've seen that even last year. Lynchburg certainly a favorite to win the conference, but Bridgewater had their number, coming in as a 4 seed and getting all the way to the final day on Championship Sunday as Morgan battles along the end line. Zatar got a piece. And Trejo able to clear it out. Even with the new group of Hornets on the pitch, still dominating in opportunities.
Yeah, and again, you see what that third goal really does. Took a good bit of fight out of him.
Seth Dale is entering the contest. Joey Daly stepping off. Morgan pressuring, working his way around Baumberger.
He's had a good game. He's made a lot of stuff happen. I know he probably wants a few of those shots, but otherwise he's really made a lot happen. And sometimes maybe you don't get the goal, but again, we talk about pressure. You've gotten in a ton. He's gotten in a ton. He's putting that pressure on, and then a goal happens somehow, some way.
Long ball played, and then out of play. There is Seth Dale. Just want to put him on screen and gives us a chance to say thank you to his family for being here. The entire family coming out to support Seth, the freshman from Chesterfield, Virginia. No better weekend to come than homecoming. Plenty of things to do and enjoy, and even some traffic. Liberty University celebrating homecoming this weekend as well. So
lots of homecomings.
Yeah, it's that time of year. I've always struggled with this thought, but I think it's my favorite time of year. I think fall wins.
Really?
It just edges spring for me, but
you like the leaves changing?
I like the leaves changing. The temperatures
weather.
Going from hot to cold. I think that's what gets me as opposed to cold to hot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like it too hot, so I enjoy it too.
You guys will be breaking out your parkas here soon.
Yeah.
On the sidelines.
I'm about to break it out right now. I feel like.
It's actually pretty comfortable tonight compared to the last few evenings. 54 degrees, been cloudy all day. Rain coming in tomorrow. It's going to be brutal all day long. Tomorrow will live up to the nickname of Drenchburg. Good ball played by Sang, but Muhammad wasn't on it yet. Got more action tomorrow if you're going to be around campus. Lynchburg men's lacrosse with some scrimmages tomorrow afternoon here on Schellenberger Field at 12 and 4, sandwiching a two-team scrimmage from two other schools. Karuki with pressure inside the box, and then Lynchburg able to clear it out. So at 12, you've got Lynchburg taking on Lenore-Rhine, Division II school. And then Lenore-Rhine battles St. Mary's. And then Lynchburg takes on St. Mary's at 4 p.m. So again, if you're around, check out an early rendition of the men's lacrosse program as they finish up fall ball. Had a bunch of alumni games this morning. A lot, of course, homecoming is when alumni are back on campus usually. Field hockey, women's lacrosse, baseball, men's lacrosse, they all were out here today. This turf is looking very pristine for all the work that's been put on it today.
It is. Just a beautiful field and atmosphere like we were talking about before. It's got to be one of the best in the ODAC.
Yeah, oh, for sure. No question in the conference, and certainly ranks up there in the country. Really, when you think about the pack-the-track side of the field, they're less than 6 feet away from the sideline. It always makes it tough on opponents. As Chad Fluharty just checked in for Lynchburg. Make a note of that. .5 minutes remaining and a 3-0 game in favor of the home team. Davis Look at Troy Davis, tripped up at the 18, and it'll be a free kick from there.
Saw what he did last time, and now he's a little closer.
Shot off the crossbar, then a header by McGee. It bounced off the corner. Davis,
Here we go, Angel.
hands on knees. He's been,
Something's bothering him.
yeah, and remember he did come out in
He
more
did,
of like
and
a medical substitution, and I think Coach Mast wants to do that again. Meanwhile, though, Palomino with the save and then a wide open cage that the Royals cannot convert on.
No, and that's twice. They couldn't
Get the second ball.
quite put it away. And
Well done, Angel.
again, that's a game changer. You do.
Zach Newton was the man trying to take the 0 off the scoreboard, and just a microcosm of how the year has gone for the Royals and really this entire month. Again, not able to come up with a winning result in 5 straight matches and on their way to number 6. Morgan at the 18, going to send one low. Just trying to make something happen, as you mentioned before. He's always there.
And was so open on that play because EMU's changed formations and brought a defender off. Hoping to get one, or 3 really, before time expires.
Good ball for Sevilla.
But ultimately, a lot of things have opened up now for Lynchburg.
Dunham, Morgan, here he is again. Nick Morgan trying to get just enough room to shoot one. It's Dunham this time, and off the outside of his foot.
Surprised it's not a corner. I heard the deflection.
Let's go back and take a look at that save from Palomino, chipped in by Trejo. And May got some help, actually. I think it bounced off the crossbar. So no matter who's in net for Lynchburg, their best friend helping them out.
Might just get another one before this is over with.
Good speed on the outside. Good recovery. And then Fluharty kicks it out of play. Great to see Chad Fluharty out on the field, a senior from Downingtown, Pennsylvania. A lot of great Lynchburg student athletes present and past from Downingtown. Different sports, too. So just a hotbed of future Hornets there in PA.
A lot of PA guys come here.
A reminder that our next broadcast on ESPN3 will be Lynchburg Volleyball hosting the Marlins of Virginia Wesleyan this coming Wednesday at 7 p.m. We'll also have men's soccer on, I guess you can say, our other channel, LHSN, against Shenandoah at 7 p.m. as well here on Schellenberger Field. So look forward to you tuning in to both. One on YouTube, one on ESPN. We've got you covered in all things digital. Great opportunity for Sevilla. Newton gets his foot in there, though. Now a chance for Kobe, who just checked in, trying to get a little bit fancier than he should have. Sevilla with the cross, and Dunham will pick it up here. Dunham to the trailing Dale. Kobe off the head of Morgan. Mohammed is there. Zatar there first.
Yeah, just tons of pressure being applied by Lynchburg, and really no opportunity for EMU to get any of these points back right now. They just no possession.
11 saves tonight for Ahmed Zatar. That gives him 118 on the year.
That's a lot.
Not the total you want from your
No.
keeper.
Sometimes you like stats, and sometimes you don't.
Just for full transparency, 3 saves tonight for Kyle Gallagher. That gives him 20.
Wow.
In the same amount of games.
Looks like Lynchburg's warming up a few more guys. Might see a few minutes tonight. A little bit of something there for EMU. Handled pretty well and finding Nick Morgan in space. Really, Lynchburg can just keep it there. You know,
Right.
you don't even really need to go fully forward. Just keep possession, and then be patient when you do get an opportunity if they're there. But really key now. So just little time left. Just keep it, move the ball, and eventually maybe just play into the corner.
So 6:55 to go in this one. 3 matches left for each of these teams. Lynchburg certainly could try to use this as a springboard for their next 3, but what do you do in the case of Coach Mast? How do you handle this situation from a coaching perspective, a team that's just looking for anything positive heading towards the end of the regular season?
Well, it's tough. I mean, you got some pretty good players for sure, and you know, out on the field today. And if you look at it, you've had some opportunities too. I mean, this could be a 3-2 game, and that's a different scenario.
Right.
Your games have been close, so you're just you're doing the best you can to keep your team together for the end of the year.
Trejo on the move, laid outside for Vasquez, and then stamped out at the 18. You mentioned their close losses. Previous 3 matches, all decided by 1 goal. And in this one, could be a different story if that Davis rocket on the free kick goes in.
Yeah, pretty easy foul there.
Yeah.
Picked up a few crowd mic yells on that too. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, usually it's you that we hear. A couple times today, you got spirited on the sideline.
All good things, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah. I didn't have to make any apologies today, no. And I haven't in the past. Usually it's players that force the, we apologize for the language.
That. Nope, wanted a few things. Some clock stopped, some foul throws called.
Fluharty, he's got the fans behind him. They want to see this senior score. And he's dispossessed by Flores Melgar. Mohammed wins it back for the Hornets. Somebody's got to take it. And Dunham just puts it in an open spot. Kobe.
Got a little time.
Let it go.
Yeah,
good ball from Mohammed. Ayat Mohammed tripped up at the 6. Lynchburg wants a foul. They'll get none. And EMU will take it back out. Look for the counter.
Yeah, and even if it was something there, ref's not going to call that because there's no need to. You're up 3. There's 4 minutes left. There's just no, that annoys coaches. It annoys me, but in general, you're just not going to see it happen.
How about the thought process for Evan Kobe? Fresh off the bench. Everybody telling him to shoot, and he actually made a better play.
Yeah, he made an excellent ball, and it really, truly, almost a goal. Get the assist. It's unselfish play. Get the assist rather than the goal yourself.
On the run. Look at the red shirts fly. Clashing with the Blues tonight. And then blocking off the run for Sevilla was Newton.
It's a good name. A little miscommunication.
Lots of substitutions being made. Will Sherman, Martin Mazzara. As you take one more look at that last chance, Kobe looking for Mohammed. And he had to play it to himself to try and get a good shot on it. It allowed Zatar to work over and make the play.
And there's probably something there since ball wasn't quite played, but again, things are out of reach at this point.
In addition to the other 2 Hornets I just mentioned checking in, Carl Mechanic and Jonathan Stringfellow, 2 freshmen, are in as well for Lynchburg. 2:37 left, and they're still pressuring this Royals team.
And EMU handled that pretty well with a 3v4. Same time, EMU's not helping themselves. Their midfield's just hardly not defending at all, so you're seeing just a ton of breaks.
Davis flying through and shooting one. Palomino knocks it away. Karuki chops it over top of Palomino, and the Royals take the goose egg off the board with 2:07 left. Finally, that counterattack helping them to make the score look better. And for Karuki, it's goal number 4 of the year. Here's another look at it. Davis will get the assist. Palomino with that initial punch away, but no one marking Karuki coming through the box.
Yeah, and you talked about what's a win for teams. Sometimes it is, you do lose, but you get that goal. It's not a, 0 on the scoreboard.
You're not skunked.
Yeah, and so there's going to be some morale to that.
To the corner stringers.
More time. Lynchburg's able to take off the clock here, just playing it back. Go back again. And hold. Again, tons of space they're just giving them.
In the end, it'll be Lynchburg getting back in the win column as they push again with these young Hornets on the pitch.
It's good to get these guys some time. No game's really easy, and so them getting this experience will help them a ton. You can only play each other so many times, so playing against somebody different is nice.
Lynchburg's record will now be 5-4-5. EMU will drop to a record of 5-11. Still winless in conference play. Lynchburg now 2-1-2 within the ODAC. Mechanic outside, looking for Mazzara. Laid up there a bit too long. Chance to thank the crew tonight on camera. Chris Sumo on one end. Elvira Lopez operating camera 1 tonight. Olivia McGee pulling double duty, replay and graphics. And Anthony McAvoy pushing all the right buttons as we finish our trio of ESPN3 games on our debut day with the ESPN Family Networks. The Hive has spoken, and the